And you know, over the last few days, you've been appearing on debates, discussions. विष्णु जी, मैं चाहता हूं कि आप 2-3 मिनट में लोगों को ये समझा दें कि जो एक तरह से फियर मॉन्गरिंग, इंसाइटमेंट जो लोग कर रहे हैं कि अगर ये हुआ तो ऐसा हो जाएगा, हमसे ये छीनने की कोशिश है, उसको आज आप सेटल कर दीजिए बिल्कुल।
See Pranesh, a very good afternoon to a very good evening to all of you, and today we must understand that we are not talking about repealing of Waqf Act 1995. We are talking about the amendment which is going to be tabled in the Lok Sabha tomorrow, so far as the certain aspects of unbridled and unchecked powers of the Waqf Act 1995 are concerned. Now, what is the very core Islamic law and Islamic tenet? The very core Islamic principle is that you can dedicate any property as Waqf property when it belongs to you, when it is in your ownership. Now, this definition of Waqf, which is there in Mullah's Muhammadan law as well as in Bailey's law, this definition has been manipulated, and section 3R, when it was introduced, section 3 subclause R for Rajasthan, when it was introduced in the Waqf Act 1995, this definition was omitted and a vague definition was brought in, because of which we are seeing various results of encroachment at various places. Point number 2, Waqf can only happen by a deed of dedication. Now, there are many instances where there is no deed of dedication. So, to facilitate that issue, the previous government had introduced a concept Waqf by user, and you would have seen that in Bangalore's Eidgah Maidan, this concept was used to claim that entire place as a Waqf by user. So Waqf by user is a draconian concept. When you don't have any Waqf deed against the Islamic law, you will say that this property I am using from past 5 years, so it has become Waqf by user. So that definition, I believe and I feel, is going to be omitted by tomorrow's amendment bill. Waqf's definition, which I just enumerated to you, section 3R, is going to be, I think, changed, and it has to be brought in consonance with the Islamic law. Apart from that, very important phraseology is used in section 6, that whatever decision is there of the tribunal, that decision is final under section 6. That phraseology is going to be omitted is what I believe. Apart from that, the most draconian section of Waqf Act 1995, which no panelist on your debate today can uphold or can vouch for, is section 40. Section 40 gives unchecked and unbridled powers to the Waqf board, and they can declare any land as Waqf property. Can you imagine that Allahabad High Court had to contest its land so far as the claim of Waqf was concerned? So section 40 is going to be omitted is what I believe and I understand. Apart from that, there is a qualification in the Waqf tribunal that one of the members, one of the honorable judges in the Waqf tribunal has to be a member who is well versed with Islamic law. I think that criteria is going to be omitted and deleted. And section 107 and 108, 107 gives them the exemption from Limitation Act 1963. That is going to be omitted or deleted. And section 108, which gave the entire property of the central government under the Administration of Evacuee Property Act to the Waqf board. That section,
Vishnu Jain, the question is, बड़ा सवाल तो ये है, if the proposed reforms, the proposed amendments are so progressive, why is a section opposing it?